say it. If we weren't cooking, we would be baking in the bread.
See where he spent all his time, Mom?
Huh?
Seeing where he spent all his time?
Yeah. This is where you were.
Yeah, all this time, yep. Right here. This brings back a lot. This is the old big bread maker.
What'd you cook in here? Soups?
Yeah, mashed potatoes, soups, eggs, everything in here. It's all done by steam.
Those were big steamer things?
Yeah, right.
Hey, could
Did
you mix
the
the
soup
mixer?
spill over when you...
Oh yeah, a
When
lot
there
of
were
times they go
raids?
from one to the other on the rough weather, but you
What
know.
about the floor? What clean it up?
Well, yeah, we didn't tell
Did
anybody.
you slide around on the stuff that spilled over?
We picked it up, put it back, made a gravy, covered it up. One time, this was where one time we had it all lined up with hamburgers, and it hit a swell, and they went on the deck. We picked them up, and we made a quick sauce, and we had hamburger patties in the sauce. You couldn't throw
Are you
anything.
you must be
I am
joking.
not joking. Really, I'm not joking.
Gross. That's
No one
Well,
knew
when
it.
you were hungry, you had to eat
No
it.
one knew it.
You
Because
could go to
make the sauce
McDonald's
over
when
the
you were in the
hamburger.
middle of the ocean, huh?
Yeah, this is cream and this thing here, this room here. That was it.
Now what's this room here for?
So what year did you first get on a destroyer?
It's 1942 in January. And my first trip was Portland, Maine.
And that was on the Mayo?
On the Mayo, yeah. And then I was on the Mayo for 15 months. While I was on the Mayo, I had convoy duty to North Atlantic, to North Africa, to Ireland, Scotland. And then I got off of that and went on the Isherwood. And I went to this Aleutian and the South Pacific. And to the Philippines.
And this is one that you served on. Well, not this.
No,
this,
one
not
like
this
a
ship.
little smaller class, but built almost the same.
So what was in that room over there?
The bakery.
Well, there's a meat slicer there.
Yeah, there is.
Is that the one you had on your ship?
Oh yeah, there's the old time, right? Yeah. Toledo. Boy, this is something. There's the beater for the mashed potatoes. Boy.
Hon, if war broke out, would they use this ship?
I think they would.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about.
I don't know if they would. Been decommissioned or whatever.
Hi. Hi.
Okay, now let's go in here and see what's in here now. Something good. Popular than not before. Don't sit under the apple tree with nobody else but me.
Yeah.
I don't want to set the world on fire.
Mersey dotes and goats.
There's your notes and there's your notes and little lambs, you divey. What else? The white cliffs of Dover.
Maybe we'll hear some of it on this radio.
There's Chattanooga choo-choo. Hardly.
Captain's quarters, then?
Yeah, in port. Bunk. Going to bed.
Is that what was in yours?
Remember you had to run through here?
Huh?
You have to come up through this area?
Yep, this is something.
Now this is
That
like
going
a,
down there was, I could run down them things in no time.
now what's in there, Dad? This is like the officers' mess or something?
Yeah, looks
Kitchen?
like it. That's locked. Yeah, this is,
Did you go in there?
No, I wasn't allowed in here.
How come?
Well, there were officers, only if they wanted something from me. I
Well,
agreed.
if this was like a kitchen,
Yeah.
so they had their own cook, or
This is their
on the
own
ship
galley,
that you
yeah.
had, how many galleys were there?
The one downstairs was the whole thing. And this is
Oh yeah.
the
I
officers'
remember
mess
the-
here.
Yeah. We went down into the other one the other
Yeah,
day.
when you go down, and that's where you wait. Down
Did
there.
you work down there too?
I cooked and went down after to watch the food. My job was at the end of the line and asked the guy, how come you took so much when you couldn't eat it?
Oh
And
yeah.
that was the hard part, you know. 'Cause there's a war on. And
So you worked down in the other room and
yeah,
then downstairs.
stuff was sent down, served downstairs.
Yeah.
They used to say, take all you want, but eat all you take.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because during the war, you know, you couldn't waste food.
There's the porthole
You're not
right
supposed to
here.
go out either, but-
There's the porthole. And it went up this way and you locked it.
In bad
But
weather.
you can't see anything. How come there's
There's
a
There's a
lock?
door
Door.
behind that one.
There's a door. If
Oh, there's a door
the
behind
door
that.
is- See this?
Oh, that they needed a cook back in the United States. And that's when I left the Isherwood.
Somebody came up and told
Yeah,
you about it.
the officer said they just got a message in you. Need a second-class cook in back in the States. And
And they didn't need you on the ship.
and I did that, and I'm sitting up on the deck here on a Sunday morning, and there was a troop ship anchored out there, and a kamikaze plane come down and hit the ship while it was anchored. No one, didn't do much damage, but the plane blew up, ended up in the water.
Wow.
Right, I couldn't believe what I.
That was the day you got your
Yeah, I was headed back home when I got the same message that I needed a cook back home in the States, you know.
Oh, when you were leaving the Isherwood back
I was
into
leaving
the.
Isherwood, and I was just sat down and thinking what was going to come up. And this happened right in front of me. And you had to sit here and watch at night too. You had guard duty, 2 hours at a time.
Uh huh.
You had to sit there and see that, report anything you saw that didn't look right. So this is the forecastle here.
So this seemed a little bit bigger than yours.
Yes, it is.
Have you ever went fishing on the ship?
I went fishing when I was in Alaska and had to. And we got cod and mackerel. We were anchored though in the harbor. Boy, were we getting the fish. And the big mistake was the cook would fry the fish and give them French fries, but I didn't realize that everybody was catching fish. But everybody had fish and chips. And I enjoyed it though because everybody was having a great time, and that was in the Aleutian.
How big were the fish?
There were cods, 18, 20-pound cods,
Oh,
and
yeah?
mackerel. Were quite big. I did bring back
So were you in some pretty rough seas on these ships?
Oh boy, some of them waves where you had to dump the garbage. You had to put your a motorcycle belt, like they called, and you would clamp it onto a cable, and two guys would dump over, and if the ship would roll this way, you'd end up with the barrel back in your hand, but you had to keep dumping, and you dumped at night.
The waves ever come right up over this deck?
Over the decks a lot of times, because the North Atlantic waves were very high. Sometimes you did a 45-degree roll on the ship, and you had a lot of times you had to stay off the deck. You had to stay inside. Bring back a lot of memories. Now I remember some of this. Don.
What's this here for? What's that noise?
You ever had a destroyer?
No.
Did you ever what?
I don't know if I hit another destroyer, and I said no. Boy, this is a little bigger than the Mayo and the Isherwood. 5-inch guns here.
They did all this during World War II, all this this stuff here?
All
Did
these,
they make
all
all
these
that?
cables?
No, no,
were?
no. I mean this over here.
No, that's older than that. Before World War II.
Before World War II?
Yeah. See where that the USS Constitution is?
Yeah.
That's been there for over 100 years. That dry dock. Yeah. They're redoing the Constitution now. There's the dry dock.
This is a little different. Wow. 5-inch. My job was putting in the powder. And then the other guy would put in the heavy, the 5-inch shell. This is,
What's that in there, Dad? It says repair part locker.
yeah,
It's got batteries.
must be all right. Yeah, that's all.
Those are the hedgehogs up there.
Yeah, you pass the shells up there. There must be something. Yeah, I know in Alaska, the daily and the Isherwood, and we went out on land, and my friend and I, we went through boot camp together, and we went to come back to the ship. He had one too many, and he walked off the gangplank in between the two ships, and he fell in, and they didn't find him till the morning. And they come and asked me because I was the last one with him, and it was a shock. That
He left you. He left you your ship and then
Yeah,
walked
right.
to his ship alone and fell off.
he had to cross my ship. I got to mine. He had to go to his on the catwalk, and he walked in between the two, and they found him the next morning.
Oh boy!
And his name was Burdoin, almost like yeah.
Wow. Where was that?
That was an ad too, out at the Aleutians. This is a nice view. This is something.
Walk all the way down the in
Yeah, we're
there.
going up in the pants here. Know where the pants are?
Hi.
Hey,
There's the galley.
so how many hours you spend in there?
Well, I was 15 months on the Mayo, and I spent every day in there, and also on the Isherwood, about 30 months in the galley.
What was the shift like? How many hours a day did you work?
You worked your. I was on a day shift, and the bakers would come in at night and do the bakers after we were done the meals. Then the bakers would come in and do the baking, and in the morning everything was ready to feed the crew. The baking was all done at night. And
So you'd cook all day and then they'd bake at night.
yeah, right. They would cook all day and bake at night. And we got all our food was delivered. Every time we followed the port, we would load up our food. It would go. Some would go down below, and some would go in the gunner's base off the rack. And everybody had their share. And we had an onion bin on the deck. That onions went with everything but cereal. I mean, they wouldn't eat that, but they would make all kind of onion sandwiches.
Want to go down that way?
Yeah, yeah. Well, they were
She got
headed.
shot up at Lady Gulf.
Yeah. Well, right. So they were in the same, probably in the same squadron as.
Mm-hmm. The ship was in on the Princeton rescue.
No, I wasn't on that, but I was on the Lady Gulf one, and that was when
Okay.
MacArthur returned.
Yes.
That was a big show.
Oh yes.
They had cameras mounted, and everybody, you would come walking in. Yeah, I remember. Then I got transferred back to the United States because I had 34 months overseas, and I had enough Balboa Park.
Sounds like you had good timing,
Yeah.
basically.
You know, but I was telling my son, if I only have other people that serve me, if we come back with stories that you'll help each other out with stories.
That's right.
I mean, that at a tour, but hey, remember this thing? Something that if you forgot, then it comes all back.
It always works that way, where you meet somebody and my ship was next to yours,
Yeah.
and that sort of thing.
Right,
That's true.
we went to
His nephew was at Pearl Harbor.
Wow.
I have a nephew. That's okay.
Which one was you on?
I think I was on the Mayo.
Mayo?
Yeah, and the Isherwood.
The Isherwood? Okay. Two of them?
Yeah. The Mayo was a little smaller than this. And the Isherwood was just a little bigger than the Mayo, but this was a little bigger than because I was a 500 class.
This is one of the largest ones.
Yeah, because I was saying
Budget
how
class. Yeah.
yeah, this is a lot about a.
I've been on 3 different ones of these. Yeah.
What were you on?
Huh?
Which ones were you
I
on?
was on the Kendrick, the Salem, and the Omaha.
There were destroyers?
Destroyers, yeah. I also did time on a heavy cruiser, the USS Port, 8 years. Heavy cruiser.
How long were you in?
20 years.
Oh, 20.
Yeah. What did ship boats in there? What was your age?
I was ship's cook first class when I got
Ship's
out.
cook?
Yeah.
Gully robber, huh?
Yeah, they call
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember they used to call us out there, boy, the Navy ate pretty good.
Oh, the Navy
always-
ain't fine compared to anybody else.
Yeah, because we'd always be the soldiers of the high sail.
Except when we run out of food. You'd be out to sea there sometimes for months and we'd run out of food.
Well, I used to go down and borrow it from the gunners.
I know you'd steal it. Yeah, I know.
Borrow.
Yeah.
They said.
They'd get a bunch of
hamburger
stuff together and make hash out of it. Be a little of everything in it. Yeah.
I was telling my son the onions took a beating though. The onion,
Yeah.
the onion beds on the deck.
Oh, sure.
This was. We had some. I was trying to need a hamburger. I think I call it. What they steal roast beef.
You World War II?
Yeah. I went in 3 days after Pearl Harbor. December 45.
45. I joined the Navy in 1932.
Yeah. You got out in like 52.
52. Yeah. After 20 years. Yeah.
What was your rate?
Cheap boats are made.
Two boats a day. That's a right-hand rate.
You ain't a kid.
Yeah,
I was
the
the guy that put
left-handed
you
rate.
guys to work. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was always nice to know a cook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Get
You were
friendly
hungry,
with your
especially, yeah. Cooking or baking, yeah.
Even the officers after a while, they were hey, cooking, you know, and they didn't care for you as long as they wanted something.
Those are the good old days, right?
Yep.
Will you read about those reunions?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do next people. Yeah. And yeah, I remember seeing New York.
All the big cities.
And like I say, we were the destroyer. We were in and out of every. I remember one time coming in to New York Harbor, at the Statue of Liberty, they had the Rockettes on another ship coming. They give us a show along our ship while we were pulling the port. All these little things have come up now.
Yeah, it's down in South Carolina. They got some World War II planes on F-6,
You know, they treat you so good. You could see a good show for 20 years. Or if you didn't have the money, you go to 99 Park Avenue and they give you, as long as you showed your pass, you get a free ticket to the Star Club. All this.
I didn't go over there. We were training pilots in the Chesapeake Bay for landing.
3 years in World War II?
Yeah,
I went
On the Yorktown?
on New York. We replaced the one that was sunk at Midway.
Yeah.
And we replaced that one. We were number 10. That one was number 5. But we had quite a few pilots that were on the one at Midway, so they came over to ours.
Oh, they came on the ones. Here's number 10, so they had how many? So that was a replacement.
Oh, there was not too many of those fellows. Then we had three pilots from Clash and all out in China. What the heck they call them?
I made every invasion of the planet.
But anyway, they came. We had 3 of those fellows on our ship.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. This ship was hit twice right here. Now this has all been fixed. You can see where parts have been ripped out. It hasn't even been fixed to this day.
Yeah.
But 2 kamikazes come after us, 2 different times. They weren't low enough to hit the ship, but they hit the boat that was hanging, and the captain's gig was hanging. Blew it in 1,000 pieces. He come down at an angle like that, and he went right down into the next deck. There was nothing here but a black hole. That mast was blown right off it on the other side. Fell on 45 men, they were all ripped to shreds. 22 men were killed right on this deck. They're standing on it instantly. The ship, we lay dead in the water. We had no power, no lights, no nothing. About a half an hour after we were hit, they got one engine going, and we looked that way, and there was a small Japanese Navy yacht that we'd captured from the Japanese. And they took a mast off of something destroyer, they had put it on us. 7 days later, they sent us right back into Okinawa again. Very first night we get in here, we were hit again. Almost right in the same spot. Blew it all out again.
Well, they got the fan there on this thing. I left, well, after I left, they got the back here.
Yeah, stern, yeah.
Were you on this ship when
I
that?
did time on this ship,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Walt, you know what they're doing back there? They're pumping out the barge. Water.
Good fire, I think. Oh, are they? They're pumping out the barge? Yeah. If these ships could, this ship here could top this. These are 40mm anti-aircraft guns up here. They can spit out 160 shells a minute. Okay? Shells every month. Big around. These are 5-inch 38 caliber big guns on
I
here.
got the 5-inch at Rod Moment.
Yeah, 5-inch. They can fire a 52-pound projectile for a distance of 9 miles.
Something.
They got 5 of them on here. These little babies will tackle anything.
They
These
were
submarines, aircraft, they were very fast. This ship you're standing on weighs 2,050 tons. You can do 36 knots. One of the fastest ships in the U.S. Navy. Right here. Yeah.
This is here, I had for quite a while here.
What's that?
That's just
Oh, it's been here since 1960. Went out of commission in 1960. But we go out once a year. They take it out once a year. All the guys that run doing the wall come home with their wives and kids. We go out for the day and get back in the night.
That's great.
Yeah. Once a year. Every Columbus day. Take it out.
Now,
And
where do
there's
you go?
thousands of people here. Way out the end of the channel to the open sea. They come back in.
This is where we had the initiation for from the polywalk to the shellback here. We had to go and face the judge. Had to go crawl through a sleeve, garbage in it. We had to kiss the royal baby. Yeah, he was a man with a sheet on and a gallon of mustard in it tied on like a diaper. This was a fantastic. Bring back a lot of memories of Squat. We used to put on shows, no matter, you couldn't do anything once you got up and did something just to pass the time.
Okay, can you tell us about the time when you did ice cream?
Oh yeah, about the ice cream, we got a message about that the submarine crew wanted some ice cream, and they surfaced, and we sent it over on a cable to the guys on the submarine, and that was over in the Aleutian Islands, and they were happy to get the ice cream.
You don't remember the name of the submarine, do you?
No, but that was something I'll never forget.
How come they couldn't be?
They didn't have no machine; it was too crowded in the sub.
So what happened? How did you send it over there?
Sent it over there in a sea bag on a cable. They hooked up, shot the cable over, hooked it up on the submarine, and we sent it over on the cable after it was hooked up.
Those guys
They were
must have.
happy guys.
They must have really liked that, huh?
Yep, that was great.
Now.
Good. So, is it on? Yeah. No, this is it.
So is this the
fantail.
fantail?
Yeah, they
You said
dropped
you,
it.
you worked on the depth charges?
Yeah, some of the depth charges to go off on that. Yeah. I had mine was over here on the side where I had to pull a cord on the side here, and that would shoot out on the side. And
So it wasn't that kind there?
no, and that you had to travel very fast to get off of these because when you would drop them, they exploded. They were going this way so fast.
The ship was going very fast.
Yeah,
at the
then
time.
you dropped it and changed their course to get away from that line. So this is it, right here. See? This is the Navy white right here. Right here. That's nice. This is great. This will bring back a lot of memories.
This is a
Sure
20
does.
millimeter gun.
Yeah? That is
I wrote a lot of letters to the Isherwood, USS Isherwood, a lot of letters to the other one, the Mayo.
How often would you write them?
Well, I used to write about 3 or 4 times a week. Yeah, I'd write to him all about the people that he's worked on. You know, all those people that knew him because he worked there too. So he
Yep.
knew all the people. So whatever went on at Munson State, he knew about it.
I got a $21 check back from the bowling league I belonged to because I didn't pay any. I mean, I used to pay dues and they sent me back the check with me. So that was helped out a lot.
That was.
Should I take a picture of the depth charge?
Like I
I
tell
used to-
telling the other fella, need somebody to help you out on that.
Well, that fellow that was talking with you, he brought back some things. Huh?
Yeah, right.
Right.
And he had the answers on. We're going to stop at the information booth to pick up something,
Okay.
and then we can go.
You could tell that whatever he said was true because he put so much feeling into it, you know?
This
Oh.
guy, the 20-year man, he really
Who?
knew
Grammy,
what he was
who?
talking about because he